Okay, hi everyone, I'm Rich, welcome back to DB's Customs. This is episode 15 of the cb250 build. Today, I'm going to be concentrating on getting this seat mounted properly, so I need to take some material off the front here, so that it sits further up the seat, and then start looking at the bracketry on the bottom of the frame. But before we get into that, as you can see, I've had a bit of a shift around of where the bikes are. That's because I made the decision on the weekend, the one just gone, that I'm not going to rebuild the GS because since it's been stolen and recovered, I don't really want it anymore. So I decided to break it up for parts. So it is currently hiding behind this one. In fact, if I take you around, you can have a better look. I lift you up. It is currently hiding behind the CB, looking very sorry for itself. A lot of it wasn't usable, like the tank was too damaged to use, the rear fairings were too damaged to use. The handlebars I'm keeping because I'd only just put those on and they're nice bars. I'll find something else to use those for. The engine is sold, the carbs have been taken off, the airbox has been taken off. Bits of the frame are going. So yeah, this bike is eventually going to get smaller and smaller and smaller until I can put what's left in the car and take it to the tip. But for now, let's get started on this. Okay, so the underside of the seat, all this trim is held on with staples from a staple gun. So first off, to try and get these corners off, I'm just going to untack the front and just down here a little bit so that I can take the material back and just chop these corners off by however much I need to. I'll keep measuring up against there. We'll cut them off. Whilst it's off, I'm going to peel the foam back and take these bolts out because I don't want those there either. These are going to need to be up here somewhere. So instead of cutting them off and melting the plastic, I'm going to try and pop them out the back. So yeah, we'll see how well that goes. I might have to end up cutting them off anyway, but we'll have a look. Okay, so I've taken all the staples out and I've peeled the cover back to show the foam seat underneath. This, very nicely, isn't actually glued onto this, so I can peel that back. But to get the bolts out, I'll try and show you in there, those two little plastic bumps just in front of my thumb, those are the plastic overmold which cover the heads of these bolts. So I'm just gonna nip the top of those off, push these through, and then before I do anything else, cut these corners off to make it fit nicely on the bike, and then I can start thinking about where these need to come through, because there's going to need to be a bracket added onto here to hook up underneath the tank, so you get the standard in and down fitment of the seat. But yeah, that's the plan. See how it goes. Okay, so I used just a very fine hacksaw, clever hack actually. I got this from Poundland. It's good, isn't it? Use that to get inside here, cut those lugs off, so now there's no bolts on there, so I can see exactly how this is going to sit at the moment on the frame, and then use a pen to just mark out where on these corners I need to cut it off. Okay, so that line is where I need to cut. We'll take that off and then see how it looks. Okay, that's much better. So now, just take these off. I'm going to put that back for now, but not staple it on, just so we can have a better look. Then I'll probably take the back wheel off to have a better look underneath to see where the bracket needs to go for this, and then move on from there. So something else I've just noticed as well is this bolt on here, which is the bolt which secures the tank on, hits the bottom of this. So I'm just going to pop a hole in here to make clearance for that. There's plenty of foam there, so it won't matter if I put some holes in that. It'll be totally fine. So that bolt now sits in that hole. Have a look up under here to just see where these brackets are going to have to be. Right, so looking up under here, these these are the bolts on the bottom of the seat, so this is where the bracket needs to attach. We've got quite a decent distance from the bottom of the seat to the frame. That is almost 2 inches. You can even pull it down a bit, it's still 1.5 inches. So what I'm going to do is mark out on here where this bracket needs to sit. I'm only going to use one set of the bolts because, actually, hold that thought. I'm going to go get the brackets which came with this and see if I can use those. Right, so I fitted these brackets back on. You can just see, maybe to see one just poking here. If I move it over, you can see it a bit better. So this is the bracket here. They're not on tight, they're just nipped up at the moment. They are a little bit wide to sit in nicely. You've got to sort of tweak them in a little. But what I might do, to save having to build a bracket to go straight across and bolt that to, I could just cut these off, mark out on here where they sit, and weld these straight to the loop. It might. Actually, no, I won't do that. I'm going to put a bracket straight across because it will be a much stronger job. These are quite thin. I might use these further down underneath the seat towards here, just to give it some more support. We'll do something with those there. But yeah, I'm gonna put a beam across there, I think. Okay, so these are the marks I've made. I need to make a brace which is going to sit across there. I've got some 30mm by 3mm mild steel which will sit across there really nicely. So I'm going to get a pen. I'm going to just mark off on there where I need to cut that. And then I'm also going to need some little upstands just to lift that up a bit. So, I don't know, let's do this by eye. There, and there. Cut that off. Weld it all together. Put some holes in, and then just make sure we've got everything lined up properly before we weld it onto this. Okay, so this is now sat on here. It's not welded on, it's just there to see what it looks like. I have made it too tall because like when I put this on, it's easier to cut some off the bottom of this than it is to weld it back on. So once this cools off a bit and I grind off the excess crap off of here, I'll pop some holes in, bolt it to the seat, and then sit it back on, see what it's sitting like, cut off what I need to, and get this welded onto the frame. Okay, so these bolts are 112mm apart, centre to centre. I'm going to take it for granted that these are centre to this seat, but they don't really have a sensible way of checking that. Well, I do 240mm, 60, yeah, so they are centre to that. So if we mark the centre of this, which is 184, so half of that is 92 there. So that's the middle. Know that that's 120 across there, so we put 60 in the middle, 120 there, one there, one there, one there. I'm gonna have to hurry up because I can feel rain on me. Across, how wide that's 30mm, isn't it? So 15 across from there is there, and there. Pop the holes in there, bolt it on. These are, how big are they? These are M6 bolts, so if I put somewhere upwards of a 6.5mm hole in here, they'll give a little bit of free play as well, just to make life a bit easier. Okay, I have just quickly packed everything away. I am going to get this done before I go in from the rain. I am going to rapidly do it now. That should be alright. First hole. Second hole. Again, that on there, like that. There's the bolts are under there. Okay, so I've had a quick fit up on the bike, and I've marked off how much I need to cut off. So basically, the way it works out is from the inside face of here to where it's going to weld on, that distance is going to be about 30mm. So I've measured that up, put it on both sides. I'll quickly cut those off, grind the paint off of there, mark up, tack this on, and then hopefully it'll just be fabricating the bracket to go on the front of the seat, and then yeah, that's it, the seat mount will be done. Okay, so now we've got the seat bracket ground down. I've got it in position, and you can see just in here, just there, if I zoom you in, just a little. There we go. Here it's meeting nicely against the frame, so I just tack that I'll just tack weld that on for now, just to check the fit, and then I'll weld it on properly later on. Okay, so now the seat should hopefully go in somewhere like that, down into the holes like this, and then simply do the screws up underneath like that, and that is solid already. Okay, so that's going to be it for tonight. I'm really pleased I got this far before the weather came in. There's a great big grey cloud coming in from over there, so before the heavens open I'm going to pack all this stuff away, cover the bike up, and probably have something to eat because I've not eaten yet today. Thanks very much for watching again. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave any comments or questions, anything in the comment section below. Next time I'll finish this off, I'm going to make the bracket to go from under the seat to under the tank. I shall finish welding this on, paint it all up to protect it from the weather, and then, I don't know, put something in the suggestion box as to what you want me to have a look at next, whether you want it to be the rear fender, or maybe start making the battery box or anything like that. Yeah, otherwise I'll just make it up as I go along, I guess. Again, thanks for watching. I shall catch you next time. Cheers.